you all, let me let you all know what type of fabric that I will be using and how many yards. This is a cotton polyester mixed fabric with designs. I needed 2 yards of this for the top. This also is polyester and cotton mix for the bottom. You're going to need 3 yards for the bottom and 2 for the top. I have hem adhesive, tape. I have a roll of hem adhesive. Have a pair of scissors, a seam ripper, a tape measure, straight pin, thread, horsehair braid. We're going to use this on the skirt. And I have muslin fabric to make the pattern. And this is all that we need. Oh, and also including the sewing machine. Okay, everybody, so I love starting with the bottom instead of the top first. So let me show you all how I measured myself and the length and how to make my pattern for my skirt. So first you're going to take the tape measure and you're going to go around your waist, your lower waist, and get your measurements, and then you're going to add 1 inch to it. So mine is 39, so I'm going to go to 40. And then for the length of the skirt, I'm going to measure from my lower waist down to my knee, which is 16. Well, it'll be 18 right here, but I went all the way to 20 because I love a long skirt to go under my knee. So we're going to take these measurements and we're going to create the pattern. What we're going to do is use the muslin fabric in order to make the pattern. So here we go. We're going to take the measurements of your waist, and you are going to, let me show you the easier way that I do it. So my measurements was 39, my waist. So what I do is I went to 40. Half the tape measure up, which is going to be 20, and half it again, which is going to be 10, and that's how I created the waist. So once you make, it's going to look like an upside down cone, ice cream cone, but as soon as you do that, your waist should be 20 inches, and then it's going to create the all around circle for the front panel. So what you do is to create the circle down at the bottom of the skirt. Take it from your hem line and you're going to measure it all the way down, and you're going to go all the way down in a semicircle, cutting it. After you have folded your fabric in half, that's what you're going to do. So that's how I ended up with my circle skirt right here. The waist 20 inches when it's folded in half. When I unfold it, it's going to be 40 inches. This is 2 panels on here, but it's going to be 40 inches. And this is what's going to create that flowy circle skirt that we are getting ready to make. So now we're going to get our regular the fabric that we're going to use to sew together to create the dress. We're going to get that and lay this on top of it, making our skirt. Now that we have the pattern cut out with the muslin fabric, now we're going to lay this on top of the fabric that we're using for this sewing project. And we're going to pin it down and we're going to cut it out. And as you can tell, we're pinning around the waist and we're pinning around the bottom, so that way it will not move while we're cutting out the fabric. Now, I put the muslin fabric on the mannequin so you can see what it looks like. You're gonna cut at least 3 panels of this so it can be a full layered skirt. So this is what it looks like. But remember, this is only 1 panel. I have already cut out 3 panels for this full circle skirt. Okay, so now let me show you all how it looks with the fabric on the mannequin other than the muslin fabric. So now that we have the fabric ironed out and the pattern cut, now we're going to fold it back in half. And we're going to cut straight down the middle. So it'll be 2 panels and then we have a 3rd panel. So now let's get to cutting. Let's make sure that we line it up correctly and even out so it won't be, you know, uneven. I like to make sure that everything is ironed out smoothly so I can get the right cutting pattern on here. So your next step will be cutting these 2 panels, cutting this 1 piece of fabric, and it equals to 2. Right down the middle, other side, because it's closed on this end. Okay, so when you are getting ready to cut your fabric for the skirt, you make sure that you are cutting against the grain, not with the grain, because if you cut with the grain, you're going to get a lot of your thread coming out of your fabric, and you don't want that. You want to cut against the grain. Now we have 2 panels that's going to open up. Now we have 2 panels for each piece that I cut out. So there's the second one, and then we're going to cut 1 more and we'll be finished with this. I'm going to show you all how I created the waistband with using the measurement for my waist. So let's go to the next step. Okay, note that it is going, the tape measure is going to be 20 inches. You're going to cut on the fold. Now that we have our 3 panels, now we're going to pin the 3 panels together, and we're going to pin them on the wrong side. And as we're pinning these 3 panels together, we're going to leave one side open because we're going to apply a zipper on the back after we finish sewing it together and putting the waistband on. We're going to put a zipper on here on the back side of the skirt. And after I finish pinning it up, I want you all to see how it looks on the mannequin with all 3 panels pinned together. So we are about to sew all 3 panels together, and we're going to leave 2 sides open because we're going to install the waistband and the zipper that goes in the back of the skirt. Okay, so now that we have our waistband attached to the waist of the skirt, now it's time for us to apply our horsehair braid to the bottom of the skirt. This is what gives it that flowy overlap look at the bottom of the skirt. So now this is my first time using horsehair braid. That's what gives it the flowy look at the bottom of the skirt. So we're just going to pin it down all the way across, and then we're going to sew it on. And I'm going to show you all how I sewed it on, let you all see what it looks like with the horsehair braid on the skirt after we're finished with this. Okay, so you want to make sure that you spread out your pleats at the bottom of the skirt to make sure that you get the horsehair braid in the groove of the curvature of the skirt at the bottom. So now that we have the horsehair braid pinned down to the hem of the skirt, now we're going to take it over to the sewing machine and sew it all together.